Blueprints, Episode 1. First, my usual warning for anybody that happened to find their way here by accident. It's been a while since I recorded a new series, so hopefully I remember how this goes. These videos aren't recorded for the sake of providing viewer entertainment. I'm not a Let's Player or a streamer or anything like that. I only record these for the sake of training self-expression through language, and to put my thoughts down into words and into videos, for the sake of viewing at some later point in time, when I'm feeling nostalgic or something. The only reason I upload them is to force my words to be a bit more coherent, like writing a letter and not sending it to someone. Although I guess in this analogy, it's just being sent to everyone but no one in particular. With that out of the way, the game. I haven't actually learned anything about this game. I just received it as another gift. I did see some stuff about it through a game preview event of some kind earlier this year. Something like that. I know it's a puzzle game. And there's something about different rooms that I saw in that preview. I guess we'll figure it out as we go along. Dogubomb. Is that the developer? Honduras.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Is that us? Are we the blueprints? I'm afraid I didn't quite catch your name. I'll just call you Sinclair, I guess. Whoever this kid is, the grandnephew that we're playing as. No idea what we're getting into, but I guess you want it, right? The inheritance. Well, I'll help you get it. From here on out, you and I are partners, Sinclair. I'll try to find that 46 room for you. $49? What says 49 in the top left? Did that number change? Uh-oh. It looks like that goes down every time I change rooms. Is that a problem? Should I be worried about that? Oh, I think this is about to tell me why I should be worried about that. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose one step. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor, and must call it a day. Great. I already wasted 4 steps or something. It's just entering a new room though, right? Open only in the event of my death. Well, assuming this is great-grandpa or whatever that guy is in relation to us, his will and testament, I guess we're opening it. I am playing this on Xbox, so I think a lot of the controller noises are going to come out clicky, just like they did when I played Crow Country. It's unfortunate, but I did receive this game as a gift, so I'm not just going to buy it on a different platform to reduce the sounds the controller makes. Oh, you're Simon. Right. Simon Sinclair. Is his last name Sinclair? Well, I guess going by naming conventions in Western world or whatever, he would be the grandnephew, or rather, his niece's son. And if the niece changed her name from Sinclair to her spouse's name, then Simon would have a different last name, not Sinclair. I guess I won't call him Sinclair. I'll call him Simon. Either one. Sinclair kinda sounds cooler, doesn't it? Anyway, Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy. And I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. Is Simon not a young boy anymore? I couldn't really tell from the third-person perspective. The brief one, as we were zooming in. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes, and all the details at the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Doesn't say anything about people living inside your brain, Simon, so I guess I'm allowed inside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself. But it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. Alright? Part of the randomization thing, right? I think that was what I saw in the preview or whatever. Don't know if randomization is quite the right word for it. I guess Simon is resourceful. Maybe he doesn't need me. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the past leads. Abandon the past, and go where you want it to lead." With all my love and wishes, best of luck. Herbert F. Sinclair. Is that an F? I didn't quite catch his name. I guess I just caught the Sinclair. And what's this? We found the Mount Holly blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventures. I'm glad we found this. You may access the blueprint menu by pressing right trigger. I was wondering when we were going to get some controls or something. I guess they're doing the tutorial thing just like innately, letting the player experiment around with buttons or whatever and picking things up. So we're in the entrance hall. And the antechamber is in the back, I guess. Is this the kind of thing where you can, like, complete the puzzle or solve the game within, like, a limited amount of days? Is that, like, the goal? Do we have a certain timeline before the lawyers come and say we can't get the inheritance? They didn't really mention that in the will and testament. Directory, huh? Are these going to be consistent? I'm just going to assume all of the rooms are going to be shifting around physically, but the numbers are going to be the same all the time. And the entrance hall isn't room 1 for some reason. I guess these aren't rooms, these other places. What about controls? We got a run button? No, wait, we've got a stroll button. That makes more sense. Don't run inside the mansion. Room directories on right bumper, rather than pause, or rather we can do that instead of pausing. And right trigger as we know for the blueprint. I think we're good. Looks like the entrance hall is a permanent type, and also a blueprint, whatever that means. Past the steps and beyond the grand doors, admission to Mount Holly is granted by way of a dark and garish lobby, suitably called the entrance hall. From here each guest's adventure begins. However, the 3 doors that proceed onward do not always lead to the same adjoining rooms. What's this rank that they're showing in the bottom left? Well, that's our stroll. Well, first things first, let's go where we want the past to lead, as we were told. I want to lead, or the past to lead out this way. Look around this. Looks like when we press right bumper here, there's no description of the grounds. Ah, there's a waterfall. How nice. And like some kind of tunnel or something down there? What is that? Some kind of secret cult room or something? At least the place has electricity, that's good. Not just out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it is out in the middle of nowhere, but not without some amenities. It's locked. It looks like we can go out there, though. And actually, how big is this place? If we were just going based on the blueprint, it's very long. With maybe some extra floors or something, but not terribly wide. Well, wider than most houses, I guess. And here's private drive. Part of the grounds. We're going where we want the past to lead. Maybe I just didn't want to play a game cooped up inside a house. Maybe what I really wanted was to enjoy nature, play an open world game, do some camping. This feels like a stupid way to start the game that's all about the house. It's fine though, right? We got a crouch button? I don't think so. The campsite. Due to the rules set forth in your great-uncle's will, you are not allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very respectable, off-site sleeping quarters. You may call it a day at any time from the blueprint menu, or return to the campsite for the night. Wow. We got a little bird doll, some kind of suitcase, a sleeping bag, I guess that's a pillow, a few books, and whatever that other box is, I don't know. You know, I thought when we would call it a day we would just go back into civilization or something. This is far creepier, just kind of camping out outside the house. My great uncle was a weird man. At least we don't want for sustenance. Never mind, we do want for sustenance because we can't hop over this fence, I guess, and pick these apples. They said we could turn over the day here, but I don't see the option to do it, just like looking at this place. I guess we have to do it from this menu, call it a day. Not that we're going to. And no creepy estate is ever complete without an old abandoned mineshaft. It's locked. Well, I don't know if it's locked, it's just kind of inaccessible. Same thing. Alright. I guess our affairs are in order. Looks like this counts as a stepping into a new room or something, technically. What's all this? We didn't see this before. It is quite long. Maybe another day. We spent a lot of steps already just kind of wandering around outside and going in between the lobby and the grounds here. We should spend our first day actually exploring the house, not run out of steps just wandering around outside. We've got 40. I think 10 less than what we would normally have if we just actually played the game normally. Well, I guess this is playing the game normally. Notably, the antechamber is not room 46, the mythical room 46. But it is located in the very back. I guess it's also fixed, just like the entrance hall is. From its root, meaning the room before, all signs and paths point towards the antechamber. This mysterious sealed room, resting on the 9th rank, okay, another use of the word rank, may prove, however, quite an initial challenge to even reach, let alone enter. Still, you can't help but draw a connection between this chamber and room 46. Alright, that'll be our objective. Philip? What's your name again? Simon. His name's Simon. Is Grandpa's name Philip? No, it's Herbert. Why am I thinking Philip? It's Simon. I promise I'll remember your name. We're partners. Oh, we get to choose. Is this a roguelite? A roguelite puzzle? Once you have drawn floor plans, you must select one to draft. Okay. What is the in-lore explanation for what we're doing here? Well, I guess we'll figure it out or we won't. Make it a hallway. We're in. What have we got here? Doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Okay, we got a hint. I know east from west. West is to the left. So probably let's go east, I guess. Wait, this way is west, right? We don't actually know which way is north, and if we were allowed to step outside, I would look at the sun and try to tell which way it's rising or setting, but I guess time isn't really moving, is it? So that'd be hard to tell. Well, we'll just assume that way is west. This way, all unlocked doors, I guess. We will make it a nook, whatever that is. No, wait. Let's make it a storeroom. There's a lot of stuff in there. Like a key and a diamond and like a coin. Maybe we'll learn some things about currency. I think this is where things come into play with how things reset each day. The whole roguelite element. We got a coin, just as advertised. And a key. And a diamond. We don't know what these do, but we have them. Look at that bat. Gilmoy. That's a 13. Like if you look at it the way that it's laid out, I guess. If you put it right side up, I guess it would be like a TW. Just looking at it though, squinting your eyes. Does this tell us anything? 13? Hey, wait a second. Is that the room number? No, it's not. Well, I guess it's room 12. Wait, is that a 2? No, that looks like a 13. And yet it's room 12. Tell me all about it. A dedicated storage space filled from end to end with a surplus of chairs, carpets, paintings, and a handful of other things that had at one time been in vogue and on display elsewhere in the house. Seems like it's commonplace, and a dead end. What about that other hallway? I guess it's just a hallway, right? One of the many nondescript hallways snaking through the estate, and providing elegant causeway between the more noteworthy destinations that the house has to offer. Things are starting to come together, I guess, on how this works. Just a little bit. We've got the more important rooms and these things which are just like gonna be all over the place connecting things, of which there are several different shapes. The T shape was not the one that I wanted if I want to head towards the antechamber, and none of the options for the room in this location let me move forward towards the back, but I guess we got some stuff. Alright, I guess the pantry is what we want. Plus 4 coins. Doesn't look like a hallway, technically. What a place to put a pantry, right? It said 4 coins, right? Ah, here they are. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit. Before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. So a lot of guests were doing this, right? I thought they were just saying that, like, guests would come here and do things, but guess this note is confirming that multiple people came in here just like Simon is. My name's Simon, right? Yeah. Simon Sinclair. 50 steps should be more than enough. So I think an even spread would be ideal. Oh, I guess they are actually called steps. I mean, I just kind of assume because they're like footprints, but cool. I got it right. 5 apples, 5 bananas, and 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Our change was 4 coins. What was the enclosed amount? What are we trying to understand from this anyway? $50 steps? Is that like 50? Is the enclosed amount 50 steps, or is this like a math puzzle where 50 steps minus 5 apples, 5 bananas, and 5 oranges results in 4 coins or something? I have no idea. Oh, wait. Oh, I think it is actually. So a apple is 2 steps, right? That's how much I just got. I can't even remember what just flashed on screen. So 5 apples would be 10 steps. Guess we don't know what bananas and oranges do. Well, we can just remember this note. 50 steps is our starting number, like always, right? And then we just need to remember 5 of each of these things, apples, bananas, oranges. And then ending up with 4 coins or something, or I don't know. I'm still not sure what this gives us, even if we figure out what each of these stand for. Like, how this math works out. I'll worry about it later. Can we read that later? Is this that kind of game? Do I have to like take notes myself? Oh, is this a hallway? No, wait. Oh, there it is. A well-stocked pantry is always the true test of a large estate. And keeping Mount Holly's wide gamut of ingredients and supplies stocked has always been one of the primary priorities of the house staff. Maybe we want this to get our steps back? Well, this one leads back into the right side, which makes it that much more easier to draft our way towards the antechamber. Because if we do this, we're heading towards further to the east, or the west rather. West. I know left from right. And then there would be probably a dead end there if we go all the way to the left or something. I think it's just statistically better to stay towards the center. Plus we get to see this puzzle piece. I guess. Hey, there he is. That's, Herbert Sinclair. I don't like the look in his eyes. Too creepy. Let's stay out of this room if we can. May the 2nd. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldmans this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been in decent society, or had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, We both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. 3 boxes of different colors. And I guess these are the rules. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. One of these things, huh? There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. And then the third box does something. Only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are always empty. We found a rather curious wind-up key, a component of the parlor game. The parlor, this cozy lounge, furnished with couches and armchairs, serves as the perfect social setting for receptions and after-parties. Consequently, this was one of the most popular rooms for entertaining the late H.S. Sinclair. It was an S after all, not an F. And the late H.S. Sinclair was known to supply a myriad of parlor games to encourage his guests to think and conversate. I guess it's a puzzle type because there's the box game inside. The blue box is empty. This statement appears on another box. This statement appears on another box. Well, that's true. It's true that this statement appears on another box. So one of the blue boxes or the black box is the one that always tells the truth. And neither of them is the one that always tells a lie. Which makes white the one that tells the lie. Which means the blue box has some goodies in it. More jewels. We don't know what these do. We're not allowed to open the others. I mean, who's watching, right? He's always watching, isn't he? And what have we got here? A spare set of car keys. What were the rules again? We'd have to go back to the lobby to read the rules, but we can't take these things with us, like, off the estate, or whatever. But we can, like, go to the grounds, right? As long as it's the same day? Maybe we just forget about all of that stuff outside and just try to draft our way towards the antechamber this first day. And if we hit, like, complete dead ends or something, or find that we're running completely out of steps or something, maybe we can go outside and see what we can do with keys or whatever. Alright. Orange is a room, right? Or rather a hallway. It's basically the same thing as a hallway. I guess it's just like a different name. The hallway is the T1 and corridor is the I1, or whatever. 10 steps for the guest bedroom. That's pretty good. But I mean, we gotta keep going, right? We can't just rely on the other doors in the entrance hall to lead us towards the back. It's only 5 wide, the house, the manor. So we'd either have to go all the way to the left and around, or all the way to the right and around, if we made this the guest bedroom. So I think we either make this a spare room or the corridor. I think we'll make it a spare room, because that seems more interesting than a corridor, even if it's functionally the same. Creepy place. This isn't a horror puzzle game, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it was. An unfurnished, unfinished, and otherwise unremarkable empty room. And here I was saying it was more interesting than the corridor. At least the corridor might have had paintings. If there had been at some point been plans for this spare room, it would seem those designs are now long forgotten. I guess there was maybe a chance that this place could have been locked or something. Would it have told us in this menu here, that it would be locked? They told us that the corridor would always be unlocked. So I think that tells me that it maybe won't always tell us that some rooms will have a locked door or something. Well, I think we'll want the bedroom, right? Because it continues over towards the antechamber. What happens when we do this? If there's like a door, well, it probably just doesn't open, right? And they're selling food, I guess, for gems. Not for coins. But I guess we're doing this. I guess Simon had a little rest on the bed, just kind of sat down. And got 2 steps back. Greetings from Reddington. A completely different place. Reddington? Should that tell us something? What about down? Does down tell us something? Everything's a puzzle. Everything's a solution. Haven't really tried any of these other buttons, but doesn't seem like they do anything anyway. Guess I don't have to worry about them. Oh, is that our mom? The niece of, Herbert. The eyes of the drawings in this game, they're just so piercing that she's not looking at us. What's down? Well, I guess we're not worrying about it. Security, huh? View inventory of all items currently in the house. Well, we've also got the den, which might be interesting lore-wise. Both of these allow me to go left and right. The corridor is the only one that lets us go forward towards the antechamber. But this one's the most interesting, isn't it? It doesn't let us see a layout, obviously because there is no set layout, but lets us see all the items, I guess. Do we have enough gems for this? The den is tempting, but I want to hack security. Before that, though, the bedroom, a familiar room that you may have slept in at some prior visit in the past. Like most bedrooms of the estate, these quarters offer you a little rest and recuperation during your long days exploring the surrounding rooms. And the security room. Hello? Simon, watch out. Yep, that's you. Ah. Although, with us moving around, I guess the camera only updates every once in a while. That is actually kind of horrifying. Where's that camera anyway? If we turn around really quickly, can we see Simon's face? Nope, he's just always facing these. Kind of a clever way to make this whole camera thing without really being intensive on the processor or something. What was with that cutscene though? That was so scary. Staff notice. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals of the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch-out clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password is redacted. We've got a match and a tree, I guess. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked, and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. Okay, the antechamber is unlocked. Great, that's where we're going. But I guess we're gonna have to worry about these access levers anyway. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. Okay, I guess as we go north, that's what increases our rank. So this 4th row from the bottom would be rank 4. And I guess things are probably gonna start being locked. We have 1 key, and we might need key cards too, I guess. We don't know where the key cards spawn though. Guess we're just gonna have to get lucky. At least we got coffee. So, welcome to the Mount Holly Security. Let's see the inventory. Following is a detailed list of items currently in the house that have yet to be collected. Oh, well, I guess since we haven't created the rooms, they haven't spawned in. You know, I thought for some reason, I guess I didn't really think it through, thought this would give us all of the items in the house that in the rooms that we haven't found yet. But since we can create the rooms at will, that wouldn't really make sense. So I guess it's just to double check the things that you haven't picked up yet? How weird. The keycard system. Security doors are doors within the estate that can only be unlocked with an electronic keycard. The keycard system is currently operational. Security levels medium, offline mode is locked. What does this mean? And we need the password to log in. How many letters are there? 4, 8, 12, it seems. And what about this option? The security level determines the amount of keycard security doors that will be deployed in your estate. E.g., you should expect to see 1 or 2 security doors with a low setting, and 5 or 6 with a high setting. And we just get to choose, huh? This mode determines the default setting the security doors will be set to if power is lost, during a blackout, for example. As a general safety rule, offline mode should be set to unlocked if any staff are working on the estate. Okay, if you say so. Maybe we can cut power to the estate somehow. So don't we just want low setting for this? Well, I guess if we find like a security door, doesn't that mean there might be like some goodies behind it or something? Let's just make it low for now, because we don't have any keycards. Kind of funny how this works. We didn't have to spend any gems yet, so I guess we spend them on something else? Maybe if we connect to the network? Don't think there's anything else in the room. What about that punch-out machine? Oh, I guess it was formerly here, not anymore. We got a horse. And the time is currently 1:44 or so. Alright. It was a fun room. Not as much going on as I thought there would be. Is this the password? Or do we have to find Mrs. Babbage to get the password or something? Well, I don't know if match tree would be the password. I'm going to assume it takes all 12 letters and match tree does not make 12 letters. A control room with state-of-the-art surveillance equipment, inventory system, and access control via an electronic computer terminal. This room is where the estate's patrol guards kick up their feet and thank their stars. They are living in a modern era. It's a mechanical type thing. That's the first time we've seen mechanical, I guess. And it's rarity standard, which is, I guess, different from commonplace. Alright, let's continue heading towards this way, I guess. We could, like, put a dead end over here, maybe? And just, like, get whatever goodies are there. But if we can, let's just head towards the antechamber. No real strategy, just keep going. Oh, the courtyard. We can see the sky from here. How funny. We can hear the wind. What would happen if we put the courtyard, like, over here, for example? Would we just be able to see, like, the western side of the mountain or something? And as expected, the door is just not a door when it's only one-sided. Can we have this? We can. We found a heavy sledgehammer. Can shatter padlocks on loaded trunks, or locked trunks. What about other things? Can we use it on other things? Probably not allowed to break rules using this thing. A charming spot, granting guests a bit of fresh air and open skies with the privacy of the manor walls. Guess it's always walled off. And yet... Oh, I see, the gem cost happens when you create the room. That's where it comes from. I thought it was like a currency that you spend inside the room, but yeah, we've been losing gems. let's save these gems if we can, I guess. I guess the smart move would be to place down the corridor. The chapel is interesting, obviously, and we have a lot of coins. But it does force us to go left and right. I think for now we just want to see about making our way to the antechamber. A long hall with 2 doors at either end that had been one of your uncle's most frequently traveled rooms. Consequently, he had left strict instructions with the household staff that the doors of this corridor should never under any circumstance be locked. It is a sketch of some kind of... what is this? A lamp? Like a chocolate fondue fountain or something? And a tiger, I guess. Its eyes are also piercing. It's a weird feeling going through this house. Sometimes it feels like I'm being followed. This would be great. It's like the perfect thing, right? To go anywhere you want. It's too bad we can't afford it. Well, it'll be our last gem. Let's spend it on the drawing room, just so that we have more rooms to go in. And I guess we'll learn something new. And there he is again. We can never escape. Dear old Granduncle Herbert. So we can draft new things, or whatever that means. Drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans. Yes, I noticed. From which you must select one to draft. Okay, so drawing is different from drafting. Even though drafting kind of means drawing in like a sketching sort of sense, I guess. But I guess drawing here is like drawing cards. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options. Cool. What's this room do again? Okay, so we just get to draw again. I thought that meant we could like sit down and draw new floor plans, add them to our deck or something, I don't know. Guess it just means a reroll. A lot of voices. A lot of guys. Just in general, art that I'm not too fond of. Except for you, Herbert. We're fond of you always. Surely. He was sitting in that very chair. It's almost like his ghost is still sitting in that chair. Okay. Well, this is good. So that we can continue heading north, we can like redraw, right? If we don't like what we see. Let's try... Which way's more likely to be unlocked? I don't remember. And we don't have it written down. But I am recording this, so I can just watch after I'm done recording. See what that note says. I'm pretty sure over this way... Like the first way I went was over this way, right? So this way, the east side should be less likely to be locked, I think. Right? Isn't that what I read? I hope. It's locked. Okay, maybe the places that weren't locked were actually to the west. Or that could just be luck. None of these. Head towards the north. I am going to redraw. Do we only get that once, or do we get to, like, redraw on the other door too? This one heads towards the north. I guess we got to see the den after all. It's a nice place. No cutscene for entering this. I guess the security room is more lore heavy, if we consider that cutscene to be something. Oh, is this? No, wait. Is time actually passing? Passing? Like, what happens if this... My first thought was that this was maybe advancing as the step counter went down or something, and it would be nighttime by the time the steps reached 0 or whatever. But time is passing. If this crosses over, do I lose a step? Probably not, right? Steps are only based on movement. Nothing told us about things advancing otherwise. A lot of clocks in this room, all reading the same time. And then this thing, a 10. Is this room 10? It is not room 10. Which room is it? It is room 17. A more traditional family room, warm and inviting. So comfortable, one might assume that the countless clocks surrounding the sofas are placed in a futile attempt to avoid inevitably wasting the entire day here. Oh, we got another gem back. It is a nice place, isn't it? It's so nice, I do actually want to waste my entire day here. By which I mean it does seem like a good place to end the episode. It's always weird starting a new series and trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do this thing, where to end episodes and where to begin them. I guess the sensible thing would to end the day, or end the episode, at the end of the day or whatever, have each episode be a new day or something. That might be sensible depending on how long each day lasts. But days are probably going to drag on sometimes, so I think I'll be content to just end in whatever room I'm in, whenever the hour mark passes. That does unfortunately mean that I might end in some weird room. I can't just backtrack to a guest room and take a break there. I'll just lose my step counts that way. Luckily, we happen to end right here, in a nice room to rest in. Now would be a good time to take a break.